And anyway, you could see that lower right-hand quadrant. The winner will face of this series will face the winner of the series between Hapoel Jerusalem and Peristeri Windmasters. And Burgos, how will they fare without their fans in here watching them tonight? Of course, they thrive on the energy, just like really any team does. But you know what? You have adversity in different types of ways. And this is an adversity, a shared adversity, really, for many teams in all sports, not just basketball, that the world is coping with right now. So, San Pablo Burgos against Dinamo Sassari. Burgos lead at 1-0, and Peristeri Windmasters trying to come back from a 1-0 deficit at home in their game against Hapoel Yahav Jerusalem. Dinamo Sassari, for a long stretch there, the way they played, especially in the third quarter after falling behind, looked like they might come back and get a big win in front of the home fans. They were certainly the better team for a long stretch in the second half, but they did not complete the job. Marco Spisu was terrific. Miro Balan was good. Jamie Smith started the year, obviously, with Banderma now here, Lorenzo Bucarelli, Giacomo De Vecchi, Paulo Sorocas, Dwayne Evans, Daniel Magro, all the way down to Dechampierre. This is a very good Dinamo Sassari team, and they don't want to see their run in the Basketball Champions League derailed in the round of 16. For Burgos, Mark Garcia, Earl Clark, Bruno Fittipaldo, Vitor Benite, Alex Barrera, Javi Vega, Miguel Salvo, Thaddeus McFadden, Haciel Rivero, Ferran Basas, Augusto Lima, and Dragan Apic. And for Coach Joan Peñarroya, of course, Gianmarco Pizzeco is the coach of Dinamo Sassari. Basas, meanwhile, has become the player that has played in more Basketball Champions League games than any other player. He's played in 50. That was what he achieved last week when he played against Dinamo Sassari. And Basas, obviously a member of that Iberostar Tenerife team that won the title a few years ago, and he played for that same club the following 2 years as well. So Dinamo Sassari trying to get things together here. You see him huddling up, just like Burgos having to overcome the loss of not having their fans. Dinamo Sassari have had a lot of disruption to their season, as have all Italian teams, with games right now being postponed. And we just hope that everything gets back to normal as soon as possible, but needs must. If it's better not to allow huge numbers of fans into the game to contain the virus, the coronavirus, and that's what has to be done, and that has been decided. So there's Pizzeco, clearly a big name as a player and trying to make his name as a coach. And if he gets a win tonight, that would force a game 3 back in Sassari in Sardinia, the island of Sardinia, which obviously to west, basically west of the mainland of Italy in the Mediterranean Sea. How good is Burgos? Well, you know what? They have been so tough at home this season that nobody really hardly anybody rather, has been able to solve them. Just go through some interesting numbers that I was perusing. They've won 6 of the 7 games they've played at home in the Basketball Champions League this season. Remember, they also came through qualifying. 3 of those wins by 16-plus points. They've made it an average of 91.6 points while playing at home, and only Hapoel Yahav Jerusalem have scored highest average of points per game while playing on their own court in the Basketball Champions League this season. Dinamo Sassari have won all 5 of their last 6 away games in the competition after winning only 1 of their previous 4 games on the road. Sassari have never beaten a Spanish team at home in the Basketball Champions League, but have won both games they've played in Spain in the competition. So that sure does indicate that we could be in for an interesting game tonight. Ademir Zarapovic, Eddie Viator, and Wojciech Liszka from Bosnia and Herzegovina, France, and Poland, respectively. Refereeing tonight is Zarapovic, the crew chief, in the middle. And really, I thought Igor Turkovic of the Basketball Champions League, one of their writers on their website, put it best when you talk about Burgos, who he ranked second in the power rankings, just behind Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem. And why has he done it? Well, not only did they win last week at Dinamo Sassari to steal home court advantage after that 30-point explosion by Vitor Benite, but they beat Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Sassari starting five: Spisu, Bilan, Evans, Pierre, and Vitali. Michele Vitali, who was off and on last week, fouled out of the game, you might remember. And you've got Spisu with those 17 points, 3 or 4 from deep, and 4 assists in game 1. And it's Gianmarco Pozzecco wearing the spectacles. Certainly a player that you could not keep your eye off of back in the day. Played for Italy's silver medal winning team at the Athens Olympics. Hard to believe that was back in 2004. That was so long ago, but that's the case. We're all older now, including Pozzecco, but I'm sure he could still get out there and get the job done. And there's Bassas that we talked about being the player with the most appearances in the Basketball Champions League. So Earl Clark, who was terrific last week. Fittipaldo, Vitor Benite, Miguel Salvo, and Augusto Lima in the starting five tonight for Burgos. So at home, Burgos have won against Antwerp. They've won against Anvil. They have lost. The only team they lost to was Pau La Cortez. You see, Vitor Benite had 30 points last week, 7 of 10 from three-point range, and has 4 rebounds. San Pablo Burgos, they beat Ike at home. They beat Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem at home. So, you know, when you do that, you know that you're tough to beat. But the big difference with those wins and what they're facing tonight is that they've got no fans here. So fans want to be here, and they waited as long as possible, but ultimately the decision was taken out of their hands.
Y no hay salida a tiro, seguimos jugando para bloqueo directo. Sí, ok, Leo.
So what I was saying was Igor Turkovic, when he was talking about these power rankings, you want to read it because Dinamo Sassari come in at 9 and San Pablo Burgos come in at 2. And it was in the section under Dinamo Sassari where he kind of highlighted the fact that Pau La Cortez were the only team to win at Burgos this season. Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, Ike, and Texas Bandrima all lost here in this arena. So this has been a fortress for San Pablo Burgos. Of course, you have to remember the incredible performance by Nicolas de Jong for Pau La Cortez. He was player of the week. That's what it took to beat this Burgos team at home. Right now, these players are focused in, fans or no fans, they're ready to go. Well, good evening, folks. We are underway here in Burgos. Basketball Champions League, a round of 16 series. It's Burgos in the purple with that 1-0 lead after winning last week. And Marco Spisu comes right out and hits a jump shot right at the line. So Dinamo Sassari off to a good start. Spisu was, I'll tell you what, I really rate him after watching him play for Italy during the last qualifiers for the Eurobasket. Lima gets inside, not able to knock it in. Ball goes out of bounds, so they will keep it at this end. Inbounds pass to Earl Clark. And a push has been called on Lima. Clark really was a player that made a lot of big plays last week late in the game. Benite got all the attention, and deservedly so, for his scoring. He was phenomenal, but Clark was the man that made some big plays down the stretch, including a huge putback. Evans, and strokes the three-pointer. And you have to really also emphasize how well he played last week, Evans, in that third quarter, as Dinamo Sassari came all the way back. Fittipaldo, meanwhile, has it for Burgos, who trail 5-0. Spin move, Benite gets inside. The Brazil international misses. Evans with the rebound. Fast start here, potentially, for Sassari. Good hustle back by Lima to come up with the steal. There were no fans in the arena because of the concerns about containing coronavirus. So that's why you have nobody in the seats right now. Otherwise, this place would be packed, because it's arguably the biggest game in the history of Burgos, which is really the shame of it all, that their fans aren't allowed to be in the arena tonight to experience it. But I can promise you they're watching on TV, and probably a lot of them right outside of this arena. Lima follows up the miss, gets it back, and called for the travel. Might have been better to pass it out. Lima has to be careful. Very emotional player. That can help him, but it can also hurt him and hurt his team. Doesn't want to pick up a technical. Salvo knocks the ball out of bounds. You know, if you took a vote on home crowd, home advantages throughout Spain, I guarantee you that Burgos would rank right near the top in terms of home court advantage. They have some of the best fans in Spain. So ball turned over now into the hands of Benite. Clark spins. Evans takes it away, hands it off to Spissu. Now he gets it over to Bilan, who lays it up and in. And now it's a 7-0 lead. So Dinamo Sassari, who had the slow start last week, of course a lot of that was because of the explosion of Benite, have jumped out to a 7-0 lead here at San Pablo Burgos. Turning and strong move from Earl Clark. You know what? When you need a basket, go down low to your veteran and get a high percentage shot. That was a very smart move by Clark. Michele Vitali, his bounce pass thrown just in front of Bilan. Couldn't get it. This is Clark. Had the mismatch on Vitali. Quick spin and bucket. Well, that was a pearl of a move by Earl Clark. Now Fittipaldo for three, and Uruguay international appeals to the referee. He's been a really good three-point shooter this season, but he didn't get anything there. I've got a feeling we're going to be able to hear the coaches a lot more in this game because of no fans. You could hear Piñeroya. Now Miro Bilan Going to work on Augusto Lima. Turns. And nice finish by the Croatia international. Benite. It's a down low. Lima. And strong move by Augusto Lima. One of the two Brazil internationals on the court for Pablo Burgos. Lots of fans back in Italy watching this game. The Serena's watching up in the north of Italy, all probably cheering for Dinamo Sassari, and they'll be cheering loud at three-pointer Spisu.